Sorry.
Well, viewers and listeners, this is Big Loss 7 City Shop Talk. This is your rapid reaction post game. And I can tell you this, man, this one's painful. This one hurts because it was there. It was there, man. Uh, I got to give the team, props for having the year that they did. I'm not so upset at at what happened here. Uh, but it does sting right now because it wasn't like UVA played one of their best games. I'll tell you what, you know, I would have done something different. I would have probably thrown that ball away because it wasn't there. Um, but I'm gonna let it rest with this. You know, I get it. We know you don't like him, Herman. We know how you feel, my man. I got you. You know what I mean? And everybody knows how you feel. You need to start a if you feel that strongly about it, Herman, you need to start a some kind of fan club to for what you're asking for. But this game I feel like was lost um, in a lot of different ways. Hats off to Duke. Hats off to Duke. They turned this game into a grinded out kind of a game. Um, and they held the ball and they ran the clock down. They ran the ball. Shout out, who really won this game for them? Their offensive line. Their running back, Shepard, the other running back on the four. They really just kept grinding and kept running the ball. And to be honest, the defense was worn down. Defense was worn down in the middle of the third, going into the fourth quarter. You could tell. They were giving up bigger chunks. The defense just can't be on the field for that long. But this is Seven City Shop Talk. This is your rapid reaction post-game show for the ACC championship. Just hurts though, because Virginia had it all in front of them, man. Won more games than they ever have, except for 1 year. Did have an opportunity to get there, to get to the next stage. They just couldn't get there, man. They just couldn't finish it. Kevin saying, we didn't have the same pass rush we had at Duke. You know what? Like I said, their offensive line are the ones that get the credit for this. They mauled and ran the ball right at right at the defensive line. The offensive line did a great job of moving guys out. Also, did a great job of, he had pressure. The quarterback had pressure. He didn't have that great of a game. But this is what I will say. UVA, where they really had issues, there was a lot of missed tackles. The running backs ran extra hard. The defense gave up big plays, and I counted 4. That came back to bite them, where they were giving up big plays down the field. And that came back to bite them as well. Offense couldn't get going until the second half. That's right, Kevin. That's right. That's what I was saying. Poor tackling. And that was something that I felt was an issue. Their running backs ran extra hard, and our guys just could not wrap them up, when they needed to. I mean, they did a good job of closing the gap, getting it close. Incredible play by Chandler in Eli Wood, down at the Virginia end of the goal line. But, you know, you got to give it to Duke. They made, they made less mistakes. That's kind of what it comes down to. I think that if we, or as a team, maybe, highlighted, maybe some more of the mid-range throws or opened it up a little bit more. I wasn't sure. I mean, I know the running backs, were trying to get loose and trying to get going, but Duke did a good job in some of their run fits as well. And like I said, they did a great job of ball control. A great job of ball control. The defense got bit by the bend but don't break philosophy, and they gave up all the time, but then they gave up the points. You're not going to win, when that happens, because by the time your offense gets back on the field, there's hardly any time to do anything, and your game plan is skewed or thrown out the window, and you got to do something different because the time frame that you were thinking you'd have or the time you think you'd have during a regular game is changed and not there. And that's, and I was about, you hit it right on the head, man. Not having Cam Robinson in there, that to me is probably the biggest, and I mean the biggest thing. Not having him really showed that this team was missing like a real playmaker in the middle. Thing about that guy is, he's great at pass coverage. Through the middle, he almost shuts down the middle. Quarterbacks don't want to throw around him, in the middle. And then when they start blitzing him and they start moving around the defense, he's just a playmaker out there, man. But got to give it to Duke. They did a great job of slowing his offense down. Made Chandler Morris, beat him. And Chandler stepped up, almost got it, but we fell short today. Played one of their worst games of the year, all the way up until the last half of the quarter, or the last half of the fourth quarter. But it's kind of what it is. Great job for the season. Season's not over. You still have a bowl game. Sure, you're not going to get to the bowl championship tournament, but you're still going to have a really good bowl to go to. And shout out to Coach Elliott, Coach of the Year. And people were talking about Chandler. A lot of media people were talking about some of the information of Chandler coming back. And I would think Chandler really wants to come back. I don't think he wants to end his career at UVA on that play. It's ironic that the first loss of the year was a pass, an interception against NC State in the end zone. And then the last play, or the last loss of the year, was also an interception as well. But they're celebrating. They deserve it. Came out of nowhere. 8-5. A lot of people said that they didn't belong in there. But the ACC is wacky. It's been that way, all year. They beat up on each other. Ohio State lost tonight to Indiana. Who would have thought that? Alabama lost to Georgia. You just had a lot of, UVA losers to Duke. All of them favorites. I don't know. It's what we got going, man. This is kind of what it is. But I know one thing. I'll be back. We're gonna have a show on Tuesday. We're gonna have some stuff to talk about. You know, uh, you know, yeah. Elliott is a coach. Yeah, I mean, he's coached you in the ACC. What's going on, Henry? What's going on, Michael? Kevin, of course. Thank you guys for sticking with me and tuning in. It's all good. But what I'll do here is go ahead and tune on out, log out, let you guys get some rest. It's late. It is 12:10. I got to get back to Hampton Roads. But it's all good, guys. We had a historic year for the university. It's not over. We still got a game to play, and it's going to be a good bowl, maybe in Florida. Maybe we'll go down to some nice warm place and reminisce and see if this team can get it going, man. But thank you guys for tuning in. This is Big Loss 7 City Shop Talk Sports. And hey, you know, University of Duke, your ACC champions. Unlikely champs. But they did a great job. Shout out to the Wahoo. Shout out to Coach Elliott and all the players. But I know that they're really upset right now. I really want to hear what coaches and some of the players have to say after this game. But we will see. Thank you guys. I'll see you Tuesday. Tune in Tuesday. You know we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Thank you guys. Have a great evening. Wahoo, and I'll see you Tuesday. But as of now, this shop is closed.